What's up, guys? Today I have Abram with me from Abram's Health and Fitness.
Hello.
So, could you start by telling us a bit about what stage your business was at before you joined?
Non-existent. So I was a personal trainer like years ago, and then I went into management, and then I wanted to get out of like working in a physical location. So I got a work from home job. That was a corporate job, and did that for about 8 months, and I did really well with it. But I hated every day of my life. It was maybe in, let's see, the end of November,
Mhm.
like 2 weeks before the end of November. I told my wife I want to do some type of online business. So I started reaching out to people that I knew had online businesses. I asked them what they did, look for referrals for what they did, and then I started looking at all these different like courses like this, or like business coaches that could help me get there and like shortcut it, because I didn't want to. I'm sure I could figure it out over the course of like a year,
Mhm.
but it doesn't make any sense to spend a year trying to figure it out on my own. If someone already has what I want, they could just teach me it in like a very short time period. So
Right.
I did that, and then at the end of December, I quit my job, and then I just went full time starting in January doing
Mhm.
this.
Love it. So, if we just backtrack a few steps, what made you even choose us? Because you spoke to quite a few people, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I spoke to so many. So the biggest things, one, I think I talked to, was it Nathan? That's your
Yeah.
salesperson.
Yeah.
So I talked to Nathan. Um, he was one out of only two, and I spoke to I think eight different of these like course things.
Yeah.
All the other salespeople were horrible. They didn't add any value. They just went over like how great my life would be if I did the thing, like, oh, you could work from a beach, like you're all these different things. And I was like, I don't really care about that stuff. I want something that will help me get to where I want to be in a shorter time period. So it really came down to like this and another one. And the other one was a year long to
Mhm.
try to get up to 10K a month. And I didn't want to spend a year to do it. So I decided to go with this one because uh, one, the time period is much shorter. So 90 days is way faster to get results.
Yeah.
And then two, there was nothing about the testimonials or the sales process that was slimy, and that was true with like the other ones. So that that was it wasn't it wasn't even like a there was no decision. As soon as I talked to Nathan, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
let's do it. Like, let's just make it happen.
Love it. And what did your wife say about you kind of investing? Was she supportive, or
Oh,
you
she was
felt like you
terrified.
kind
And
of
I
had
was
to
like,
tell her?
hey, you know this job that I'm making like $100,000 a year in? I want to quit that, and I want to just go full time into doing a new unproven career. So I'm gonna go
Yeah.
from like making a bunch of money to making no money and going into debt in order to make it happen. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I just need to like um, we did this fear setting thing where I was like, hey, what's the worst thing that could happen if I do this? You know, XYZ. And then she was terrified. I was confident in myself though, so that confidence came through. And it wasn't until after the first month that she really started having confidence in me in this business, honestly.
Mhm. Dude, I love that. So did you have to actually convince her to let you do this, or do you just say like,
Um,
I'm gonna do this anyway?
it took a lot of convincing, because we had a super comfortable life, and it wasn't that I wasn't making money like doing what I was doing before. It was that I hated every day of my life.
Hmm.
I'm like a super positive person. And she's like,
Yeah.
you complain about work every day. And I was like, I know it's awful. Like I hate it. Like even though I was like fourth in the company out of like hundreds of people. So I'm doing super well. I just hated it. And it doesn't matter if you're good at it. It's just if you hate what you do, it won't translate into what you want to do. And I knew if I was going to do something new, I had to completely jump in with both feet, because if I'm still getting dragged down by the other job, there's no way I could prosper and like really try to hit the ground running as fast as I have with this.
Yeah. And if we look at your results now as well, I mean, you're not even close to like 3 months in.
Mhm.
But what kind of results did you get? Like what are you charging? What was your highest revenue month? Things like that.
Well, I only did this for like a month, so
Yeah.
like I was brand new to this. So like when I say brand new, I mean I was barely using
Nothing.
Facebook. I didn't
Yeah.
have a website. I literally had no online business.
Yeah.
And then I just went all in. Like the last week of December was just kind of setting it up, and then like January 1st I launched. And then the first month, I made close to $8,300 in revenue, but
Hmm.
two of those were 3 pays. So in cash, I made about $7,200 in the first month that I did it, which is like great,
Yeah.
great for me. But I also put a lot of like time and energy into it. I studied the material over and over. I took notes on it. I made my schedule in a way where I could fit this in, um, and that's what led it to being like successful. Like I'm almost back up to how much money I've like ever made in my life in like the first month, which is like awesome. And I'm
Yeah.
a real person. Like this isn't like I'm not like someone that's
Like
like
I
paid to
paid
say
you
this.
to
You know,
do
like
this.
I paid you in order for me to say this. You know, it's a great situation.
It's like imagine if you're like reading off a script right now and I'm just like typing, telling you what to say. Yeah, that's amazing because I think sometimes like we see testimonials and we see how much money the person made, but we don't really know like their starting point. And for you, it was like as ground zero as it gets,
Mhm.
right? Like your profile picture was a picture of maybe a dog, and your
Yeah,
Instagram had 20 followers, and you had never
yeah.
even spoken about fitness in your life or
Mhm.
advertised at all. Is that
Yeah,
kind of
zero
what you're
advertising.
saying?
Yeah, like literally, like when I say nothing, I mean like literally nothing. But you know, it's crazy how well or the perception that people have with you, especially growing like an audience on Facebook. How quickly you can do it when you're consistent with the content you put out and then putting out the right type of content. Like people just like I went from like being like obscure and like unknown to like people like, oh, you're that fitness person on Facebook. Oh, I know you. You talk about X, Y, and Z. You're always
Mm,
helping with like these different things. I feel like I see you everywhere. And it's like it's really I'm not everywhere. It's just I'm consistently posting. And then because I'm posting and posting the right things that have a lot of engagement, I'm getting pushed to the top of their newsfeed.
right.
So
Yeah. I want to ask for the people who are listening, what do you attribute your success to? Because doing those numbers in your first month, it's really impressive. So is it that you just worked hard every day, or what do you attribute that actual success to?
it's probably the confidence in myself that I could make it happen. So if
Uh-huh.
like it's a really scary thing, but you can use that nervous energy in the right direction. So if I'm really scared I'm not going to be able to make money, like I literally like I own a home. I have 3 kids. I have a wife. Like we are, and I have my brother living with me. We all live off of my income. So it's like
Mm,
it's really scary to go from like money to no money. But in order to make that happen, I was just confident in myself. The program itself made perfect sense to me. And then going through and the biggest reason why I was confident in my ability is because as soon as I started doing it, I immediately started making money off of this. Like it, like you know, like you have that cash injection or whatever thing right
yeah.
away.
Yeah.
I got like 3 clients in the first week, and I'd never
Uh-huh.
done it before. So it's like that really boosts my confidence. And then each time I did it, I kept raising my prices.
Yeah.
So like I started at whatever $900, and now it's up to $2,500 over the course of a month, which is a
Right.
huge jump.
Yeah.
And then changing how I do it, but you know I don't even know if it'll stop there because everyone is keeps saying yes. So it's like maybe there's a cap, but I haven't reached it yet. You know,
Oh,
that's exciting
yeah.
to work with too.
Not even close. And I'm sure that a lot of people now are wondering, what does life look like now that you've quit the job that you've been complaining to your wife about every single day? What does your kind of day to day look like? Are you
Well,
living, would you even say that, like, obviously with lockdown and stuff, would you even say that you're living like the typical freedom life? Or in reality, is it not really like that?
I mean, like, really, that's the reason it works is because I'm still like prioritizing like what like really matters. So I spend time with my wife and kids every day. I work out twice a day every day. I make time for myself, and then because of that, it lets me like schedule my life in whatever way I want. I don't have to wake up from an alarm clock. I don't have anyone that tells me what to do on a day-to-day basis. You know, I wake up happy. You know,
Hmm.
I know like the money's great. You know, if I make like over $8,000 in the first month, that's awesome. But what's really great is waking up and feeling good about myself. Like
Yeah.
like the, the self-confidence goes through the roof. You feel just happy in general. And then, my kids are happier, my wife's happier. I've never been happier in my life. And it's like, it's all because I just like jump into it. It's like been working really well.
Oh man, you're gonna make me cry. I love that. That's awesome, and it's been great to see you put in the work. So, my final question for you is, what advice do you have for people who were in a similar starting position as you?
If someone's in a similar starting position where you're gonna go from like making money to making zero money and in debt. Um, so it's funny because a lot of people will spend, I spent $60,000 on like a college education without batting an eye. If I spend, over $10,000 on a course like this, all of a sudden it's like this big expense, but it's really not, because if you're on the fence about, how much is my happiness worth? Do I have confidence in myself that I can accomplish this? It's a no-brainer. Like, take out the debt that you need. I had, I had the money in my bank, but I didn't want to use that because, I got a mortgage and stuff.
Yeah.
So I took out a home equity line of credit in order to pay for this. But in the first month, I can already pay it back without having to worry about anything. So, yeah, if you're worried about it, you should go with what feels right. If it feels like, I can do this, even if you don't make, 10K in the first month.
Mhm.
How much faster can you go to making 10K a month if you were to go into a system like this versus doing it on your own? It's worth the education in itself. It's so much better than a college education because you can make more money faster, and it's a system that works. I'm proof of this.
Right. That's so true. Like, even with that, a lot of the time people look at business investment and they don't really compare it to things like mortgages as well. Like if you buy a property, it's what, like 200, 300, 400K
hmm
for a property, and people net maybe like 5K in return a month.
hmm
Ugh. And that's after ages too, right? To pay it back. Whereas with business, especially because you've got Facebook ads, and that also, I gotta say, like, how much did you spend on ads so far to net that first month?
Zero. I mean,
Zero.
like there's no, it's crazy. This is all through Facebook friends. And I didn't even have that many friends. I've just been adding friends like crazy. Well, I should say this. If you're starting, don't add. The first day I saw the training on how to add friends, I tried to add 668 people in the first day because I was like, oh, I'm gonna rack this up, but there's nothing gonna slow me down. I got banned from adding friends. So if you're gonna add friends, you should probably stick to that like 50 a day range. But it's crazy how much money you can make without spending more money. And I didn't have like my ClickFunnels thing set up yet. I didn't have ads running. It was just like organic reach marketing. And then the crazy part is I didn't even have a system. I didn't have like my training system set up.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. Like you just go through it. I'm still making my training program right now as I go. And I'm like, in month 2 of these people's programs. And they're like, hey, so what are you doing next? And I'm like, we're doing this. And then but it's working. It's great. They're still seeing results. I can still get testimonials from that, and it'll feed back into the business. It's not really a cost, it's an investment constantly as I go. So
yeah, that's the best philosophy, is like, you want to build the bridge as you cross it, because so many people get caught up in finalizing their product before they start selling. And it's like people spend months finalizing a course and filming all their workout videos, and then they don't really know how to sell it. So by the way, like, just to rewind, I knew you had zero ad spend in the first month. I just said it so you can say it on record. So I'm joking. But awesome. I mean, what's next for you now that you kind of crushed your first month, made 8K, over 8K? What's the next level goal?
I mean, income goal, I don't like putting a limit on it. 10K is like I should say is like the minimum for like what I want to do, just so I can like live. That might sound like arrogant for someone that's not making that much money. But once you make over, I don't know what the studies are, they're like over like 70,000 a year, your life is pretty much the same. And I say that's true to like a degree, but if you make like a lot more, your life does start getting better. So that's really where I want to get to, and I want to take myself out as a bottleneck, and then see how far I can make this grow as a business versus just me
job.
as the sole person, making the business run.
Cool. Yeah. So you want to scale it so that ultimately you're being a business owner and not just a coach who does a bit of everything.
Yep, exactly.
Love it. So for people watching this, where can people find you so that they know you're a real person?
It's Abrams Health and Fitness on Facebook. I also do this high ticket coaching. If you're interested, I could I could help you get in the best shape of your life. But it's really just Abram Anderson into Facebook. I'm a real person. Feel free to reach out to me. One of the things that I did before I even took this course is Hannah had a bunch of like testimonials. I reached out to those people, or I don't know how many people I reached out to some, whoever
Oh,
I
you
could,
did.
and then
Yeah.
they responded to me, and they're like, "Yes, I am a real person. Yes, it did help." I was like, "Oh, that's great to know." So I'm doing that with my own business now. So I'm having people say, "Hey, can people reach out to you?" Because I think it's beneficial to know that you're talking to a person, and that this isn't like a made up like thing. And even if you went through my Facebook profile, you can see when I started doing this, because I went from like
Yeah.
not posting, all of a sudden I'm posting every day about fitness stuff.
Yeah. Man, I didn't even know that you hit up all our clients.
Hmm. Yeah, that was good.
Now I know. Yeah. Good to know. All right. Love that. Make sure you check out it. Do you have an Instagram handle or do you just using
It's
Facebook?
Abram.Anderson.
Do you use it for fitness business?
Nope.
Not
You
really.
told me to focus on Facebook, so that's all I'm doing.
Yeah. Nice. Love it. Guys, make sure you check Abram out if you want to see someone who is making over 8K a month in his first month of business. Abram, thanks for doing this. Yeah, thanks for doing this. I don't know how to
No,
end
thank
this.
you. I mean, you're the one, you're the catalyst for this. I should be thanking you. This is amazing. Like it should only get better from here too. That's the exciting part.
You make me look too good. You put in the work. But yeah, awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna stop the recording now.
All right.